Continuing from the previous episode 1785. I didn't expect such good luck. Jasmine's beautiful eyes swept lightly, her chest heaving violently, and she smiled sweetly as she looked at the pair of scarlet eyes below. Their Jasmine mercenary group had an extremely unfortunate encounter with the demon whale sea dragon beast during a certain mission to the sea. Fortunately, Jasmine tried her best to defeat the demon whale sea dragon beast. Otherwise, that time, their mercenary group would have it will be completely destroyed, and from that time on, the two have forged a dead end. HMPH. Hearing Jasmine's words, an extremely angry and violent voice came from below, and for a while, the entire sea became turbulent, as if a sea asterisk was furious, and the entire sea was filled with an unprecedented roar and anger. The devil whale sea dragon beast, I haven't seen it for a long time. As the terrifying roar filled the air, Jasmine Zaidu confirmed the thoughts in her heart and said softly, "Little human, you escaped by luck last time. This time I will definitely cut you into 8 pieces, with the majesty of the real king, the overlord of the devil sea." Gululu. After the blink of an eye, a roar filled the air, containing a monstrous atmosphere, as pitiful as a demon who hates hatred. Yan Xiao, take action and lead it out of the sea, otherwise we won't have any chance of winning if we fight it in the sea. The space above Jasmine's body appeared directly in the sky, and she casually used the soul sound transmission to say to Yan Xiao, "Well, but this guy is a bit strong." Xiao Yan agreed, and a frenzy emerged from the dragon god in his body. If you want to cultivate the 4th transformation of the dragon god, you need the bones of the dragon's limbs. The devil whale sea dragon beast in front of you is obviously the best choice at the moment. Shabu Shabu. The two of them had a plan, and without any hesitation, their bodies trembled and they quickly escaped from here. Since the demon whale sea dragon beast is the overlord of the Devil Sea, fighting it in the sea is undoubtedly self-defeating. Peefed. With a sound, Xiao Yan and the two went straight out of the water, but the big guy used the concealment of the sea to fight back underwater. What's the matter? Watching Xiao Yan and the two leave the water, Jiyu Lao stood on the deck and asked anxiously. Above this sea area, lightning and thunder, and the oppression of death that was revealed invisibly, certainly not for long. Bang bang bang. Jasmine hadn't had time to reply to Elder Jiyu. A huge whip made up of water waves viciously slapped the boat support, and the ferry, which was indestructible for a while, was actually slapped with many scratches. If it goes on for a long time, I am afraid they will be completely sunk by it, and the hidden danger in this devil sea. If there is no ferry, I am afraid they will be unable to move an inch. Elder Gu, the one attacking us below is the demon whale sea dragon beast. Give me a moment. Jasmine also knew the seriousness of the matter. Although the Jasmine mercenary group had a good combat capability, it was above the sea after all. Fighting, no one is the opponent of the demon whale sea dragon beast. Okay. Jiyu Lao heard the words, nodded lightly, and suddenly a gentle battle chi energy emerged above his body. Water attribute. And this guy, looking at this battle, I'm afraid he wants to tear apart the seal fighting skills. He's really willing. Xiao Yan looked at Jasmine's body. The huge energy of is slowly permeating and immediately understood. Boom! The waves blasted towards the ship like giant pillars, and the fierce murderous aura made people shudder. Leave the ferry to me, that big guy, I will trouble your excellency. Xiao Yan said softly. Soul's sacred shield. Just after he finished speaking, Xiao Yan's dark eyes suddenly closed, and the spiritual palace in his body flickered like a sky full of stars. Suddenly, a colorless and transparent soul force wrapped the ferry inside and out, and the Optimus Pillar of Time actually stood still. Boom! For a while, with Jasmine's seal fighting skills, a special pool of water appeared all over Jiyu Lao's body, and the entire ferry was violently attacked by the devil whale sea dragon beast hidden under the sea, and Xiao Yan let Xiao Yan the protection of the dazzling soul power turned out to be faint. He's a good girl, these guys are actually plotting against me? After a while, Xiao Yan found that these two guys still didn't do anything, and immediately cursed inwardly. He already knew that these two guys were obviously taking yourself as bait. Since you are not benevolent, don't blame me for being unrighteous. The next moment, a rare smile flashed in Xiao Yan's pupils, his soul power suddenly diminished, and a mouthful of blood spurted out. Susu. Drown in the devil's sea. After Xiao Yan was injured, a huge tail surrounded by a water curtain was as tyrannical and irresistible as a dragon's tail, with an indescribable oppressive force, and shot directly at the fairy. Come! Such a tyrannical attack, I'm afraid that the fairy will be destroyed directly. Just waiting for you, Rockwater prison wall. Just when the tail was about to reach the fairy deck, the fairy would be completely destroyed under its attack in a blink of an eye. Old Gu's pupils shrank tightly and laughed frantically. Crash! Gu Lao's voice just fell, and suddenly in his body, the endless ocean water spread rapidly like a vortex, and a chain of cyan water blasted away at the location of his body. Kacha kacha! After the blink of an eye, hundreds of water chains were surrounded by a certain sea surface in the entire sea area, and a behemoth also appeared. Is this the demon whale sea dragon beast? Xiao Yan was intentionally injured and looked like he was seriously injured, but it was not the case. He stared at the behemoth in front of him and lost his voice. The devil whale sea dragon beast has a tall body of hundreds of meters. On the body, a trace of extremely smooth scales protects its entire body, but its whole body is like a whale, with an oval upper body and dark blue pupils. The back half of the body is quite small, only a tail similar to a dragon's tail swaying. In addition, it is derived from the oppression and despairing bright power on the huge body. A group of humble human beings were plotted against by a few of you last time. This time this king will definitely cut you into tens of thousands of pieces. Magic Tide. Even though its back was bound by hundreds of water chains and could not move, it did not affect it in the slightest to exert its power like the master of the sea. Wang buzzing. A harsh sound similar to a bell pierced the hearts of the three of them. For this reason, the pupils of the other two turned red. Obviously, under the torment of this sound, it was extremely painful, and even the attack in their hands changed. Gotta slow down. Yan Xiao, Soul Defense. At this time, old Gu took the lead and roared. No way. Xiao Yan was also in great pain, shaking his head. What a joke. Just now these two wanted to use themselves as a bait for the demon whale sea dragon beast to attack. They wanted to use great tactics. If it wasn't for Xiao Yan's hard work, he would have completely fallen under his attack at this time. Ha ha ha. Jasmine, this time, I'll see how you can turn the tide. After the tide of the demonic sound spread, Gu Lao sat on the deck in a very decadent manner. It was obvious that the demonic sound had completely disrupted the fighting spirit in his body just now. This guy is also unable to condense any offensive in degrees. Choke. After saying all this, the demon whale sea dragon beast twisted its huge and fertile body and moved towards the fairy little by little. At the same time, the dark clouds above the sky became denser and denser. A terrifying sound of thunder continued to explode. Continuing from the previous episode 1786. Oh, so, it looks like you are healed and the scars are forgotten. Seeing how Xiao Yan and Gu Lao were defeated, Jasmine opened her eyes lightly. The fiery red liquid swayed gently, and there was a suffocating wave in it. Jasmine, let's show you what a true sea area overlord is. Seeing Jasmine's expression, the devil whale sea dragon beast sneered and slapped its huge dragon tail lightly, and immediately above this sea area, countless water liquids madly rushed out. From the beginning, they surged rapidly, and after the rest, they formed an extremely sharp hurricane. The hurricane was filled with a desperate breath of death, raging above the sea, and the scene was extremely shocking. This guy's strength is also superb. He can actually turn water into a hurricane with such a powerful attack. However, Jasmine's sealing fighting skill seems to be more powerful. Xiao Yan looked at it slightly. Obviously, although several people were in conflict, for the sake of the overall situation, when it was time to make a move, Xiao Yan would not hide anything. Seal fighting skills, the fire of dawn. Seeing such a fierce hurricane of death permeating the water, Jasmine smiled sweetly, and the fiery red liquid on her palm was heavily thrown at the demon whale sea dragon beast. The scorched red, like the fall of a flaming meteorite, the scene is extremely hot. Bang bang bang. The fiery red liquid just stood quietly, and the moment it was thrown by Jasmine, it was like ignited explosives. The endless hot and sacred aura was completely detonated by it, and it became noisy. The terrifying temperature turned out to be in the sky. It turned into an immediate flame of glow, which easily wrapped the body of the demon whale sea dragon beast, making it unable to move at all. Good guy. It turned out to be a seal at the pinnacle of the holy rank. Seeing such a tyrannical seal fighting skill, Xiao Yan couldn't help but sigh. Sealing fighting skills? Not good. Looking at the fierce sealing power filled in this flame of light, the pupils of the demon whale sea dragon beast became solemn for the first time. Beasts and sea beasts are obviously able to use fighting skills, but unless they are converted to human beings, they cannot learn more advanced fighting skills such as sealing fighting skills. Therefore, sealing fighting skills are a huge threat to them. Hit by the sealing fighting skills, they will be slaughtered like the meat on the chopping board. At that time, the advantages of their sea beasts will be gone. Hey! The dragon tail on the back of the demon whale sea dragon beast swayed gently, and the dark golden dragon-shaped stripes filled the entire dragon's tail in an instant. Under this breath, even the extremely tyrannical flame glow became imposing. Cowardly down. This guy actually possesses the power of Yulong's bloodline? How is that possible? Xiao Yan asked in surprise, seeing the demon whale sea dragon beast looking so desperately. The strength of the dragon family is tyrannical, and there are giants in the world, but many magical beasts with uneven blood power are also contaminated with dragon blood. A true dragon is the dragon ***, including the 9 sons of the dragon. All creatures with the power or blood essence of the true dragon, whether they are humans or beasts, will have a qualitative improvement in their strength and status. Next to the existence of digital real dragons, it is also a good position in the dragon family. Dragon tail mighty, dragon tail swings to the sky. As soon as the voice fell, the dragon tail of the demon whale sea dragon beast swelled hundreds of times in an instant, and the dark golden dragon pattern on the dragon tail was even more dazzling, although it was not as good as Xiao Yan's tyrant pattern, but that level of power is also enough to break the seal fighting skills, and immediately headed by the dragon tail flashing with the power of the dark golden dragon pattern, with a contemptuous sweeping attitude, swept across the flames. Boom! With a sound, the seemingly tyrannical flame glow was easily swept away and destroyed. The whole process was like flowing water without any pause. The power of the Dragon Clan is indeed well deserved, but don't forget that I am a 6-star fighting immortal powerhouse with space attributes. Space barrier. In the bundle. At this moment, Jasmine's voice became sharp, unusually harsh. Dong, dong, dong. After a while, a crystal mirror like a prismatic mirror suddenly appeared around the demon whale sea dragon beast, and without waiting for it to react, it completely isolated its body from the seawater. And the dark golden dragon tail that the demon whale sea dragon beast had just displayed obviously needed a lot of support. After a single hit, it also vanished and returned to its normal appearance. 2 seal fighting skills. You shouldn't feel too well now, right? At this moment, the demon whale sea dragon beast didn't struggle at all. Its huge pupils flickered wildly, staring at Jasmine. So this time, I'm here specifically for your reward. Jasmine performed 2 sealing tiding techniques at the same time, which was a huge burden on herself, but fortunately, she was successfully isolated from the sea and completely bound to the sea. In the sky, otherwise fighting underwater with the devil whale sea dragon beast, even 2 6-star fighting immortals, I am afraid that there is only one way to fail. You are very smart, but you made a fatal mistake. At this time, the demon whale sea dragon beast laughed. Come out, my army, my people. The demon whale sea dragon beast didn't struggle, but the spatial restraint could not hinder its voice. After a roar, the entire water surface was shaking, and then one after another imposing creatures suddenly emerged from under the water. A 4-star fighting immortal level demon sea flood dragon. Tianmo snake at the late stage of 5-star fighting immortals. Looking at the tyrannical figures one after another, Jasmine's expression was unprecedentedly solemn. If she could defeat the demon whale sea dragon beast with her own strength, it would be a lose-lose situation. As for the other overlords in the remaining demon sea regions, I'm afraid they could easily tear them apart. Ha ha ha. Jasmine, this time, I'll see where you guys are going. At this moment, the voice of the demon whale sea dragon beast was extremely ferocious, resounding in everyone's heart like *** of death. This. After a while, Jiyu Lao also recovered some fighting power, but he was helpless when he looked at several powerful sea beasts above the sea. Ended. Fell obediently in the Devil's Sea, and turn it into fertile fertilizer here. The demon whale sea dragon beast doesn't seem to be in a hurry. It prefers to slowly torture rather than kill it directly. It likes watching humans approach death, of cannibalism. Strange. These guys are actually filled with a strange evil nature, and their pupils don't seem to be right. At this moment, Xiao Yan, through his tyrannical soul power, noticed several sea areas that had just emerged. The aura on the Lord seems to be not quite right. This breath is exactly the same as the biter in the crazy state and the previous magic stone lizard. It's okay, even if you die, I will kill you completely first. At this moment, Jasmine frowned slightly, and she let out a fierce murderous aura. Since there is no way to go, it is better to fight the backwater. What secrets are there in this sea area? Xiao Yan was thinking about other things. In this sea area, there must be a power that makes Shen Yan uncomfortable, and when these sea beasts are sometimes crazy and not normal, Xiao Yan always feels uncomfortable. But it seems that except for the Sea Lord, the Devil Whale, the Sea Dragon Beast, the rest of the Sea Lords seem to be like this. What exactly is going on? Continuing from the previous episode 1787. Boom! With a sound, Jasmine's body was filled with the power of space, and she instantly fought with the demon whale Sea Dragon Beast. As for the other side, Jiyu Lao fights against several Sea Lords alone, and is vaguely invincible. I am afraid that failure will only be a matter of time. Forget it. I'll do it. Xiao Yan glanced coldly at the bottom. It seemed tyrannical, but in his eyes he was just a lord of the defeated soldiers. He said indifferently, "These guys are not bad, but in front of him, but is much weaker." Whoosh! You lost. The battle above the sky was decided in a short period of time. The flames and the power of space that were burning violently around the demon whale Sea Dragon Beast were easily turned into a speck of dust, and even a trace was rare. The thunder of his body was beating around his body. Obviously, this situation emerged after an extremely violent battle. Cough cough. Above the sky, Jasmine's hand was already stained with bright red blood, and her breath was extremely sluggish. Obviously, since she was lucky enough to repel the demon whale Sea Dragon Beast, this guy has done a lot of precautions. Even now, Jasmine, who was fully prepared, was helpless. Is that the only way? Seeing the demon whale Sea Dragon Beast with the winning ticket shaking its huge dragon tail, Jasmine's expression became determined. She knew that this mission was originally her own will, and the other mercenary team members also. There is no good countermeasure, but even if they die, they will not be a drag on them. Wait, what is that? Just as the demon whale Sea Dragon Beast had beaten Jasmine to the brink of death, and was about to win, it discovered that at this moment, on the surface of the sea below the sea, an extremely scorching aura accompanied it. With bursts of piercing screams, they emerged together. Hoo-hoo, these guys seem to be a little weak. Xiao Yan clapped his hands, and after easily baking the last sea beast that was comparable to the human 5-star fighting immortal, he showed a creepy smile at the devil whale Sea Dragon Beast. Cunning little beast. Seeing the special amber flames emerging from Xiao Yan's body, the demon whale Sea Dragon Beast gritted his teeth and said, but he was extremely apprehensive. It seemed that Xiao Yan's flame, even on the surface of the sea, was so powerful. Much more tyrannical than ordinary flames. Yan Xiao? At this moment, Jasmine's eyes were quite startled. He naturally could not have imagined that Xiao Yan had such a hidden method. Lord Yan Xiao, I was offended just now. Please have a lot. At this moment, old Jiyu bowed his body humbly and apologized to Xiao Yan. Obviously, it was only his idea to use Xiao Yan as a bait just now. Let me do it. The amber flames around Xiao Yan's body beat like an elf, and every time it flickered, a touch of high temperature filled the sea. Boom! In an instant, in this devil sea, lightning and thunder followed, and a storm followed, as if there would be an ancient battle to come. It's very strong, Jasmine said softly, and immediately floated to the deck of the ferry. At this time, she had reached her limit. On the other hand, those lords who were temporarily knocked unconscious by Xiao Yan slowly woke up. There was an unprecedented madness in it, as if trying to swallow Xiao Yan and the demon whale Sea Dragon Beast. Go back to me. Looking at these guys, the demon whale Sea Dragon Beast roared at the back, and dazzling water ripples emerged on the sea surface, with an unquestionable order. Ho-ho-ho! What is strange is that, being roared by the demon whale Sea Dragon Beast, the overlord of the devil seas, these lords didn't have any intention of retreating. Their bodies flew and shot directly at Xiao Yan and him. Demonized? Seeing this, Xiao Yan didn't dare to take it lightly. The amber flames formed a natural barrier in front of his chest, protecting the entire ferry and himself. Tear it! Suddenly, the huge body of the tyrannical demon whale sea dragon beast was bitten by the corners of the mouths of several lords, and the harsh sound was mixed with the sound of the meat falling, which was especially harsh. Oh! How could the demon whale sea dragon beast think that these lords who were originally subservient to him would dare to bite him? But the pain in his body made him let out an angry low voice. Roar! Get out of the way! Pieces of meat were bitten by these mad lords. The devil whale sea dragon beast roared wildly, and a violent sea dragon roll was born on the surface of the sea. Poochie poochie! An extremely strange voice emerged, and several crazy lords were directly involved in the sea tornado, which instantly turned into a blood mist under the eyes of everyone, and the asterisk smell came out, stimulating several present. Human nerve. The tyrannical sea beast, like a 5-star fighting immortal, was easily obliterated by this overlord. A little bit. When the demon whale sea dragon beast wiped out these guys, tiny wounds appeared on the body, and even behind these wounds, a rare blood-colored evil pattern was slowly outlined. What the asterisk is going on with these guys? Looking at this scene, Jasmine and Gu Lao were also confused. Obviously they were also extremely puzzled by the behavior of the demon whale sea dragon beast. Suffered to death. Amber Rock's soul fire. Xiao Yan didn't have time to think about other things. The demon whale sea dragon beast had already been scarred from fighting Jasmine, but now it was bitten by these crazy subordinates, and some strange power poured into its body. This is the best way to kill it. Good chance. Crash! Following Xiao Yan's exit, the amber flame on his body suddenly burst into dazzling fire like a blazing sun, immediately burning the entire sky completely, and immediately with a rainbow light, directly facing the demon the whale sea dragon beast roared away. This is holy flame? As he felt the power of such flames at close range, the pupils of the demon whale sea dragon beast suddenly shrank, and an aura of death poured into his heart. Defend me! The demon whale sea dragon beast was shocked, and immediately mobilized the power of its own overlord to try to use the combination of its only remaining power and the water surface of the Devil's Sea to stop Xiao Yan's terrifying one. Hit! How could it be? What the demon whale sea dragon beast did not expect was that under its own call and roar, there was no response in its body, and even a trace of connection between itself and the Devil's Sea was completely cut off by it. And his eyes stared at the wounds on his body that were bitten, and there was a rare trace of blood on the wounds, which turned out to be vaguely composed of 2 vague words. Demon. Boom. Xiao Yan didn't know why the demon whale sea dragon beast didn't resist, but his strongest attack, which was attacked by the fire of the holy flame, completely turned into a raging flame, completely obliterating the demon whale sea dragon beast. Kacha kacha! With a sound, the huge body of the demon whale sea dragon beast was directly burned by Xiao Yan's countless amber flames. For a time, its limbs were directly divided by Xiao Yan, and it was immediately divided into 5 parts, which entered without a trace. In Xiao Yan's pocket. Tisk tisk. This guy named Yan Xiao is quite amazing. At the same time, in a rather quiet room inside the ferry, a beautiful woman opened the window slightly, staring at the floating in the air. Xiao Yan, who was trying to divide the body of the demon whale sea dragon beast, muttered. So far, this mighty demon whale sea dragon beast has completely fallen, but I don't know the reason for this fall, whether it was Jasmine's actions, or the wounds bitten by her subordinates' rebellion, or Xiao Yan's holy flame fire is the biggest credit. Continuing from the previous episode 1788. Several days have passed since the battle between the demon whale and the sea dragon beast that day, and the injuries of the 2 elders in Jasmine Valley have gradually recovered a lot. There is still no sign of returning to the original path without crossing the boat. Instead, they seem to be heading deeper into the sea. Xiao Yan's room. Hoo, the sequelae are really too serious. It took a few days for Xiao Yan to get used to it. Obviously, he used the fire of holy flame to kill the demon whale and sea dragon beast on the sea surface. Had a very tyrannical sequelae. In this kind of sea area, the fire attribute powerhouse is completely suppressed, and a series of seasickness vomits. This is also the most painful thing for a landlubber. Finally get used to it, let's hurry up and do business, otherwise they won't let go of these things. Xiao Yan opened his mouth with a hint of laughter in his voice. After erasing the demon whale sea dragon beast that day, Xiao Yan secretly took all its corpses into his pocket. Jasmine and the others should not be able to find it in a short time, but over time, I am afraid that things will be revealed. The information needed to cultivate the fourth transformation of the dragon god should be here. After checking a barrier in his room, Xiao Yan carefully removed the broken pieces of meat from his Emperor Yan. Released from the ring. What a stench! Large and small limb bones and blood-colored flesh appeared in the room, and a harsh stench rushed towards his face, causing Xiao Yan to frown. What exactly are these? After a brief hesitation, Xiao Yan divided the bodies of the demon whale sea dragon beast, but at this time the huge body of the sea beast had been dismantled into 8 pieces by Xiao Yan, and some major parts were released by Xiao Yan. Come out, after all, this room can't hold all the bodies of the demon whale sea dragon beast. As soon as he finished speaking, Xiao Yan stared at the dying dragon tail of the demon whale sea dragon beast, and muttered as he looked at the sunken groove in the head. Looking at the flesh above the backbone, the blood-colored holes that were bitten one by one, permeated slightly, and a heavy feeling swept over Xiao Yan's body. Devil. After a while, Xiao Yan tossed and spliced together a lot of backbone meat pieces, and vaguely saw a miniature version of the devil whale sea dragon beast, and on its surface, the looming words suddenly appeared. An uneasy thought quietly poured into Xiao Yan's mind. Wang Om! When the blood-colored energy of the devil was wriggling around, the amber flames in Xiao Yan's body flew out uncontrollably. Looking at the appearance, it seemed that he was extremely disgusted by the devil in front of him. Forget it. I don't care, but this guy has a dragon tail. Although it contains Yalong's bloodline, it doesn't seem to be enough. After a lot of tossing, he found nothing, Xiao Yan said helplessly. It seems that we can only keep this dragon tail first, and then we can start cultivating the fourth transformation of the dragon god after obtaining some things in the future. Xiao Yan thought to himself, after all, the fourth transformation of the dragon god is not what it used to be, and it must not be sloppy. If that's the case, then burn it. Sorting out the useful things, looking at the terrifying blood-colored devil word on the useless flesh and bones, Xiao Yan spoke softly, the amber-colored saint on his body. A burst of dazzling power erupted from the flames, burning it away. Ho ho ho! This burning, like a dying beast being scorched by the fire, broke out with a scream that went deep into the soul, and those fleshy bones disappeared in an instant, but there was a faint gray smoke, which quietly emerged. In the middle of the room, it seems to be revealing something. Hey! The gray smoke swayed slightly, and after a while, a scene appeared in the gray smoke. A lonely island? Looking at the scenery above the gray smoke, Xiao Yan didn't have time to think. His pupils shrank tightly and stared intently. It was an isolated island. The isolated island seemed to be above the sea. The area of the isolated island was huge. It was even incompatible with the seawater and the surrounding air. It was like an entrance into the abyss of hell, and the gloomy cold wind was blowing constantly. There are definitely evil things here. At this moment, the vindictiveness in Xiao Yan's body became quiet and solidified, and he could directly hear his own heartbeat, and this uncontrollable fear seemed to originate from in front of this lonely island. Hoo-hoo! After the breath, the gray smoke shattered, and the whole room returned to calm. What the asterisk is going on? Xiao Yan's forehead dripped with sweat like beans, gasping for breath. The fear that came from the soul just now was the first time Xiao Yan experienced. There should be some earth-shattering secrets hidden in that lonely island, which can make me feel so terrified, I'm afraid. Xiao Yan calmed down slightly and carefully adjusted his breath. The other side. Miss Zhang, now that we have successfully crossed the core area of the Devil's Sea, we are going forward, I'm afraid. In the room, there were only Zhang Yu, Ji-Yu Lao and Jasmine. Ji-Yu Lao was the first to speak. You too, don't worry, as long as I get to my destination safely, I will naturally not be able to treat you badly. Zhang Yu said coldly, but the Devil's Lair is only a legend. Even in the entire city of Shuiyuan City, no one has seen it with his own eyes. How can your excellency be so sure that the Devil's Lair must exist in the depths of the Devil's Sea? At this moment, Jasmine was also feeling a crisis. It seems that this reign is not as simple as it seems, and worries. You don't need to know this. Zhang Yu shook his head, obviously not wanting to continue to argue with them. This. With Zhang Yu's appearance like this, the other two looked at each other and also had the intention of retreating. Originally, Jasmine was lucky enough to defeat the demon whale sea dragon beast last time, but this time, she was supposed to win the reward, but how could she have thought that this big guy would be so terrifying? In addition to the biting thing and the crazy sea beasts in the sea before, under the balance, money and life, or the latter is the most important. I want to retreat now, it's too late. No. Zhang Yu's eyebrows were slightly frowned, and her slender hand swayed freely. In an instant, a token engraved with countless luxurious feathers was exposed in the air of the room. This is? Holy Sea Order? Looking at the token in front of him that was wrapped in pure white wings like a divine beast, Jasmine lost her voice. The word Holy Sea represents the top forces under the countless continents of mankind. Among them, Duty Sifang Continent and Doyan Continent are branches of the Holy Sea. No one knows how strong the Holy Sea's headquarters and overall strength are, but behind them are the support of the angel family, and their mission is to maintain the order of the entire human world. Once the Holy Sea makes a move, the targets of attack and obliteration are almost all heinous demons or foreign evil races, and every time they make a move, it will bring about a change in the pattern. Many powerful people in the Holy Sea are walking in the great world. Once they find some strong people or evil people who surpass human rules, they will all be classified as heretics, and they will be suppressed by the most primitive force. Compared with the savior name of the angel family, they prefer humans to call them Terminators. The Terminator of life, once being targeted by the Holy Sea powerhouse, to a large extent indicates that he has been declared dead. This is the Holy Sea, a hegemonic organization that prides itself on paying a very high price for the peace and tranquility of mankind, even at the expense of a supreme crime. Continuing from the previous episode 1789, some humans are approaching the death zone. Go and see. It should be some stupid fishermen going out to fish, or some mercenary groups who are not afraid of death, but don't worry, no matter how many people they come, they will become your best test items. Quote. A simple conversation came out of the deep sea, and the source of the sound vaguely seemed to come from the devil's lair, and the sound alone contained a shocking evil nature. Calling me so urgently, is there something urgent? One night, just as Xiao Yan was about to fall asleep, he was called by Jasmine to the ferry hall overnight. Obviously, there was something important. This girl is actually here? Xiao Yan just finished speaking, looked around, and found that this time, the 5 members of the Jasmine mercenary group were all there. Their eyes were long and solemn, and it was obvious that something important was suppressing them. On the other hand, Zhang Yu was like a quiet person sitting by the side. Lord Yanshao. Xiao Yan just arrived, and Ji Yu Lao hurriedly got up to greet him. Let's get down to business. Xiao Yan waved his hand, walked to his seat by himself and sat down. His eyes became deep. Tomorrow, we will enter a special area. At this time, Jasmine stood up first and said softly. But although the voice was soft, the pressure and anxiety contained in it were hard to hide. Is there any problem in this area? Xiao Yan looked at a few people in confusion. The adults don't know. This vast area is called the Death Zone by the people of Shuiyuan City. Ji Yu Lao also said weakly. According to my information, once we safely cross this dead zone, we can successfully reach our destination. As for that destination, I'm afraid it has something to do with your Shuiyuan City biting people and those sea beasts who have fallen into madness. Zhang Yu looked at Xiao Yan, but these words were more like speaking to Xiao Yan alone. Don't ask me why, I came here with a mission this time, and the destination is the Devil's Lair. When you send me there safely, I will naturally tell you everything. Looking at the atmosphere at the scene is particularly solemn, Zhang Yu hurriedly said. Zhang Yu's strength is quite weak, but his identity is special. If he wants to step down this sea area and enter the Devil's Lair, it is naturally extremely easy, but in that case, he will be shocked by the grass, so he can only rely on the assistance of the Jasmine mercenary group. Old Ji Yu, Yan Xiao, let's fight for the last time tomorrow. Ning Ling, you all take care of the logistics. Jasmine originally wanted to question Zhang Yu directly, but after thinking about it, it's okay. Everyone nodded, and suddenly calmed down. Time is over, tomorrow will come. Boom! Above the sea, there was only one ferry boat moving staggeringly, and the heavy rain fell directly from the dense dark clouds in the sky. Down. How far is it? At this time, Xiao Yan, Gu Lao and Jasmine stood on the deck under the enormous pressure of the storm, Xiaoyan said solemnly. Under this sea area, there are probably no less than hundreds of powerful sea beasts. If they are trapped here, I am afraid that they will die without a place to be buried. Obviously, the situation is more urgent than they thought. The first 100 meters is the death zone. You can't use any fighting spirit in the death zone. I'm afraid only the power of the soul can do it, and a sea beast group behind us is chasing after us. Gu Lao looked anxiously behind him, and in the rolling water column behind him, there was a huge herd of sea beasts seems to be intentionally driving their ferry towards the dead zone. Once their ferry is submerged in the dead zone, the people on the boat will immediately become their nourishment. You go to the front, and leave it to me at the back. Jasmine snorted softly, and gorgeous armors appeared all over her body, obviously expensive weapons and armors. Peefed. With a sound, the speed of the ferry skyrocketed. The front half of the body was already submerged in the rather calm death zone, and the second half was still deep in the turbulent sea. It's so quiet. Xiaoyan stood quietly at the head of the boat, watching the ferry sailing quietly. There was not even any hustle and bustle around, only the awe-inspiring as if everything was quiet. It was too quiet. The silence made Xiaoyan a little flustered, and even the water surface in the death zone was forbidden to move like ice cubes. If the ferry was not still running, Xiaoyan would have the illusion that he had crossed the death zone. Did the fighting spirit be completely sealed by a mysterious force, and there are many sunken ships around? I am afraid this is the root of everything. Xiaoyan did not rashly act, but glanced around. The death zone was about 100 meters away. Above the area, large and small residues appeared, but there was no one's breath. Tisk tisk. A rather luxurious ferry, the midterm strength of the 5-star fighting immortal, and the power of the fairyland's soul. It seems that this time, an extraordinary guy has come. Just when Xiaoyan felt that something was wrong, a gloomy voice sounded slowly. Who is it? Xiaoyan was shocked. His eyes glanced over vigilantly, but he didn't find anything. It doesn't matter who I am, but I am a little curious about who you are. The gloomy voice sounded, as if it was combined with the seawater in this dead zone, and it was impossible to detect the source of the sound. I received a reward. Come and see what this so-called death zone is. Xiaoyan sneered, but the soul power in the body, the soul shadow of the fighting soul, and the holy flame are always ready. If there is any change, we'll start immediately. Magic guard, capture him. A gloomy voice rang out, and on the calm sea, small eddy whirlpools suddenly appeared one after another, and above the whirlpools, there was an evil aura that made Xiaoyan extremely uncomfortable, as if like a demon crawling out of hell. The smell is extremely fishy. Chi-chi! The whirlpool closed, and dozens of humans rushed out of it, but these dozens of people were filled with a blood-colored energy, as if they were being controlled, and they didn't even have any spiritual wisdom. Yan, his eyes were scarlet. He stared at Xiaoyan closely, trying to obliterate Xiaoyan. These are exactly the same as those who bit people before. These dozens of people just appeared. Xiaoyan swallowed hard and muttered. Shabu shabu. These guys would not be polite to Xiaoyan. They moved their hands and feet together, opened their mouths wide, and ran and bit at Xiaoyan. Damn. These guys are quite strong, Xiaoyan said solemnly, looking at the dozens of men who were aggressive. Now that the strength of fighting qi is sealed, it is impossible to expose the holy flame, and it is quite troublesome to deal with these guys. Forget it. It's better to just do it. I also want to see what this devil's lair is. Xiaoyan's heart flashed with a smile, and he immediately made some resistance, and was directly bitten by it. But it's a pity that these biting guys didn't bite Xiaoyan. These were all blind tricks made by Xiaoyan. Even if you can't use Do Qi, it is nonsense to want to get close to a soul powerhouse who is too immortal in the fairyland. Bang bang bang. For a while, as Xiaoyan was easily arrested, several people behind him also understood, and after some resistance, they were easily bound by him. There are several conspicuous blood-colored holes on everyone's body, but these things are just a blindfold caused by Xiaoyan's soul power, not real damage. In this way, Xiaoyan and the others were led by this mysterious group towards the devil's lair.